Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I'm glad you're here. So we're going to keep on going with our little neon grungy journal. So if you haven't seen this before, I'm doing a little series on these little grungy here in neon colors, just to show you guys that you can do things, you can do all kinds of things, all kinds of fun. So what we're going to do next is some of these are way too big, so we need to figure out how we're going to cut them down a little bit, and then maybe we'll add a little bit of texture to some of these pages as well. So first off, we need to find this friend, and that is going there. I cut myself a paper template that is the right size for our pages. So here is our, we're going to put this on the fold, right? But it's too big this way and it's too tall. It's a little bit too tall as well, I believe. Let me double check with the book. Eep. Yeah, it's too tall. We need to bring that down a little bit. And as you can see, it's definitely too wide as well. So here's what we're going to do. Let's give this a fold so we know where our middle is. And this is just an extra piece of that cardstock. So this is going to be a good template for us to make sure our pages do not go outside this border, and we can leave them in here. So I can go like this, and I will automatically know that that's where we got too much of. So I'm going to take a pencil line and draw where we need to be. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to sew along here first to make this smaller and then cut it. And then we are also going to end up cutting the top, I think, as well. Or maybe we'll just sew the whole thing. Contemplate. We'll do this side first and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'll be back with this stitched. All right, so to give it a little interest, so I did a straight stitch down and then I did a zigzag back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this with this scissors, and I should be right on that line. I don't want to hit my stitches though. She tight, she close. It's okay. It's double stitched, so that's fine. Now this top edge is still too tall, and it is too tall all the way across. What do we want to do with that friend? What do we want to do? What to do? I think that we will tear that. Tear that. And then we're going to bring this down inside. So we're going to fold this inside to make this a little bit of a more sturdy edge. All right, that should be good. So that is fine. Then that is still too tall. So let's go ahead and tear it. Let's tear it down. So we got a bunch of different textures going on here. And once we get to the edge, we might have to cut it. So I'm going to bring it down to about right here. So I feel like, where's that line? So it's going to be like right there. This might not want to tear as much as I wish it to be, but we will do our best because of this down here. And then That should be fine. Okay, I like that. That's good. That's good. So that one is set, and then we can decide if we want to stitch or glue or whatever onto this side a little bit later. All right, that's our template page. This friend goes on here, like so. All right, so that is where it needs to be. Now, do we have any other friends in this one that are sticking out a lot? Let's see, let's see. That's good. That's good. That one's good. Okay, this doily page is sticking out just a titch, but I think that will be fine. That is fine. That one's fine. This one, that one needs to something with. All right, so this one, we're going to fold back just a little bit, like that. So that that doesn't stick out so much. Okay, that makes it look nicer. The green here, that should be okay. This one is fine, and this one is fine. So now we need to think about this green a little bit. You know what we could do? We could fold it in a little bit on either side and sew that as well, and that could add some interest. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to set you here and you there and put you here. Get it in that edge again so we can see what we need to do. So I think this friend, we're just gonna do like that. So fabric will also, you can give it a really good crease with stuff too. So that's a thing to keep in mind. And then this side, samesies. Samesies. All right, I'm gonna go stitch these down in a fun way. Here's what I did. I did a zigzag on here, and then I did a straight stitch, and then I just decided to make a pattern. So that page has some extra interest added as well. And here's the back side. So it looks kind of more interesting, more fun, and it feels interesting. So that is there. Perfect. This one is going here, and then this one is going here. So now we are all much more even, and I feel like we're still, I think I'm okay with it kind of sticking out on the edge a little bit. I think it'll be okay. Plus it's not all tight in here yet either. So, all right, let's take a peek at the other one. And start in the middle. I know this guy's gonna be fine. This one we know we're gonna need to fold over that edge. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and then we are to our envelope, which we know is going to need some assistance. Uh-oh. Where's my template page? Lost it. Here's my template page. All right, so top and bottom is fine. So it is just the sides. And if we go on that line there, that's fine. And if we go on that line there. So we have a guideline to go off of for this one. So I am just going to go ahead and sew up the sides of both of this on both sides. Okay. And then I might end up tearing this down. We might do something else on the top edge, maybe a little bit later too. Yeah. Actually, I might cut that off first and then sew this. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Okay, so here's what it looks like on this side. So I did a zigzag and then a straight stitch. So, and yes, I know my tension is off, and I'm okay with that because I have two different weights of thread in, because I don't have enough orange of this neon orange to go on both sides. So sometimes you just gotta do the best you can, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna tear this one down on this side, right about there. Okay. And then this side, let's cut this side, and I'm gonna use a different design than I did last time. So we have some interest on the edges of our pages and some variation. There we go. Okay, so that one is good to go. And so that goes there. Let's make sure we're getting our friends all together here, how they need to be. This one feels wide, and it definitely is. So those edges need to be handled somehow. So let's go ahead. Let's do it this way. Okay, so we need to probably go in like about 1/4 of an inch biscuits. I wanted this on the edge. I shouldn't have folded that the way that I did. Let's see if we can make an adjustment with this. So I want that there. Let's flip it. Okay, so I want that there, and I want this like this. That is better. And then we can do like a page tuck or something on this once we get to the decorating portion. So that will be better. I have to make sure that I have to change my center fold. And it has to go there now. Has to go there now. So we are making an adjustment, and that's okay. We are allowed to do that. So now this friend goes on here. There, that is better. Our fabric friend is fine. That one's great. This one is great. This one is great. This one, the bottom needs to be trimmed down. So we need to bring the bottom a little bit. Actually, before we do that, let's check just in case. Yeah, it's too big. All right, so we need to take the bottom off of this one. Also think I'm going to run the sewing machine on this one too, maybe all the way around. So let's cut it down, and then let's see how stitching goes on this stuff. So it did a funky little thing here. I don't hate it. It just pulled really tight. It couldn't keep its shape, and then I ran out of thread. So I'm just going to leave it. This edge turned out really good. This side, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting, and I don't hate it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So that should fit in here now. Perfect. Now this friend, also good. This one I feel like might be a little, yeah, this one sticks out a bit. So let's go ahead and take just a teeny bit off the edge on this one. Just a little bit. Let's use a fun scissors to do that. Let's do it. And we kind of have a line to go off of, so I'm going to use that. And same here. Just taking off a little bit. I think that's all we need to do is just take off a little strip. There. Now that should fit. Yep. And then our last page, Lovely. And then everything should fit in here. Sticks out a tiny bit, but I'm okay with that. So those are all set to go. Let's see, do we want to add anything else to these guys right now? I think that's good for trimming that stuff down for now, and maybe I'll leave it there with just adding those quick little bits and pieces. I don't know if we want to do any more sewing on any of these. Maybe let's do 1 page from each, just to add another texture maybe. Contemplating. So the contemplating, I have decided to do at least 1 more stitched page in each one. And I think let's go ahead. Let's do the center in this one. And then maybe the outside in that one. It is fun that they both have like the same colors. We could do the center from each one. That might be kind of fun. Let's do it. Let's do the center. We'll just do a zigzag stitch or something interesting around both of these papers. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, here's what we did for our last 2. So this one is going on this side, and I just did a wonky straight stitch running around. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. Just a wonky stitch, what it looks like on the back. So I have blue and purple on that one. This one had some orange left over for some zigzag. Then I ran out of that. So we got a mixture of blue and orange and some purple. So that's fine. We got those. So I think that is where we will leave it for today, since we added a little bit more fun to some of our pages. So that's where we're going to leave it. Next up will be deciding how we are going to, or I'm going to go through and if I want to stitch them in and then decorate, or decorate and then stitch. I like to kind of do it in the book, so that's probably what I'm going to do. So then I'm thinking this one in the front and this one in the back. So next step will be stitching these friends in and then deciding if we want to leave a center spot for like a little pocket again, like we did in the Grungy journal. Might do that. Might be good, even if it's stitched in by itself. So there's where we are today, and that's where we're going to leave it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave me some comments and questions and things like that if you'd like. If there's something you want to see me do in this journal, let me know, and we'll go from there. All right, you guys have a great day. Bye. Don't forget, art with your heart.